If you suffer from a slow pop-up, maybe you have to walk to your feet, or sometimes you end up on one knee and fall over, or it's unreliable. You just sometimes get up, sometimes you don't, not really sure what you're doing right or wrong, I'm certain that I can help you. And I know this because spanning a decade, I've already helped thousands of other surfers fix their pop-ups quickly and permanently. And it always comes down to these three things. So I'm certain you're either suffering from one or all of them. Number one is flexibility. The pop-up is such a unique combination of a deep squat, a deep lunge with a twist and a bend and some balance. So that's a very, very small space you have right there to get your legs tucked up underneath you. So if you think about what your day-to-day looks like, how often are you in that deep of a position? You go from sitting at the breakfast table to driving the car, sitting at the office, sitting on the couch. We're beginning to shape our bodies to be built like chairs. Rigid, square, 90-degree joints with muscles that are as tight as beef jerky. But the good news is we all used to have it. You look at any little kid playing on the floor, they can fold themselves in half in any position. They never moan and groan. Me and you both used to have amazing flexibility, but lifestyle got rid of it. Lifestyle will fix it. By adding the right stretches at the right time, you too can get in those deep positions and make your pop up. And number two is core strength, because a pop up is just like an upside down ab crunch. You gotta elevate your hips up off the board, then you gotta drive your knees through. So having an explosive core is gonna give you that lightning quick pop up. Combine that with flexibility, and that's the foundation for great surfing as a whole. You have better balance, better style, better energy, better mood, less likely to be injured, and you'll be able to perform much, much better and have control of your body. There's a great metaphor I heard regarding core strength. So if you imagine a giant Navy warship with a giant cannon that shoots those cannonballs, well, imagine you took that giant cannon and put it on a 10-foot wooden canoe. You fire that, the canoe is just gonna explode and sink. Well, that's your core, is the size of the boat, right? And the explosiveness is your arms and your legs making explosive movements. So if you have that power base, that battleship of a core, you can explode anywhere quickly and do it safely. So you having that combined with the flexibility, the range of motion will make you able to pop up on any board, in any condition, no matter where you go in the world. As long as you control those things, you can control your board, control your body. And finally, number three, what ties it all together is technique, because all the flexibility and strength in the world wouldn't matter if you don't apply it properly. So tiny little things like where you put your hands, when to turn your hips, when to turn your shoulders, which way to look, front side versus back side. The very cool thing about that is it can be practiced at home too. In a lot of ways, doing a pop-up at home is harder than it is in the water because it's so rigid and stable. In the ocean, you can sink the board, you can pull it towards you. The tail is sunk a bit because there's less buoyancy there, and the wave tip, so gravity kind of assists you. So if you can do perfect pop-up technique on dry ground like this, in a lot of ways, it'll be easier when you get into the water. But the most important part is having repetition at home with perfect technique will ingrain it in your mind. It'll become a subconscious reflex. So instead of panicking and having a high heart rate and just seeing what happens, you automatically do the right thing every single time. Combine the flexibility with the strength, with the subconscious great technique, and you'll be a pop-up master. Three things, super specific, but if you focus on those three things, I guarantee you'll become a master of your pop-up. So I'm inviting you to join me in a 4-week challenge, 10 minutes of stretching and exercise every single day for 4 weeks to correct your pop-up now and forever. Our system is progressive, meaning that it starts out easy and then progressively becomes more advanced as you become more flexible and stronger. What's cool about that is it'll meet you where you're at to fill your needs, but also it'll be just challenging enough so that you're making meaningful steps every single day. By the end of the 4 weeks, you'll have unlocked your hips, your hamstrings, you'll be able to get deeper, you'll be able to pop up fast without touching your toes. And that's great stuff because your wave count's gonna go through the roof, but also it's gonna improve your mood. You're gonna have more energy, you're gonna feel younger. It's a very, very valuable thing because lifestyle is what gets us into states of health that were not ideal, and lifestyle is gonna get us out of it. So what's cool about being super specific and knowing these things is that there's an infinite combination of stretches and exercises that you could do if you just Google. It'd be overwhelming, right? What I'm offering you is the best ones that you need to master so you can just focus on these narrow things. It becomes very, very simple. Bruce Lee put it best. He said, "I fear not the man who practiced 10,000 kicks. I fear the man who practiced one kick 10,000 times." So you master these positions in these next 4 weeks, you'll master your pop-up and you'll become a much better surfer because of it. Cool thing about mastering these things is that there's no ceiling on it. They will never be outdated. You can do them every day for the rest of your life and always see benefits from it. So all you gotta do, click the button down below, join me in some video lessons, and we'll kick this thing off right now to correct your pop-up now and forever.